Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave, and hey, happy Monday. As you can see, a little bit of a different setup over here as I'm not in the usual battle station, but hey, hope you have the best Monday possible, the best ever Monday possible you could ever have in your good old cryptocurrency life. It is Christmas Eve, so hey, Merry Christmas Eve to you out there in cryptocurrency land, or if it's just another Monday, well, happy fucking Monday. Anyways, get on over here to the live scene, and before I forget to remind myself, all my programs are on sale for the rest of the year, which is actually a little bit less than a week now, I suppose. Anyways, 2018 just flying by, but all my programs are 20% off with the code HOLIDAY20, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. If you do want to serve yourself to a little bit of a Christmas gift, well, that is for you. The links are in the description of this video. Definitely check out the videos on them. Definitely check out the reviews to figure out if they're for you. But without further ado, let's get back on into the actual charts, which is probably what you came here for. Anyways, Bitcoin taking a leg up. So this is a great example. This is a great example of when I say I don't trade my opinion, I trade technical analysis. Because as I was stating yesterday, I did believe that, well, as long as you're kind of respecting this area's resistance, 4100 I believe it was, well, I was basically going to keep my position open. Or actually yesterday I did go to neutral, I believe, on my video, so as I was traveling yesterday, but fair enough. I would have been short if I wasn't doing that. So it was just by, it was just by luck that I basically got to catch this move. But going on to our BitMexico chart, the BitMexican's right over here. Yeah, there we go. That's a blue box I was looking for, the one that I was going to be making decisions off of. And I have, just for full transparency, I am actually quite long over here. Maybe a little bit too long, but basically, yes, I do believe that Bitcoin's probably going to take another leg. And so we're probably going to draw out this bounce a little bit more. So again, this is the beauty of technical analysis. You don't need to be right in your opinion. In fact, that's almost secondary, or it is secondary to the actual to actually interpreting what's going on right over here. So to me, yes, we are right at this resistance 4220-ish area, which is actually lining up with a ton of things. Going back onto our Bitstamp chart right over here, going to the weekly, you can see that the 200 exponential is right there. We're actually living above it right now. However, you will notice Bitcoin clearly did not close above it last week. So this is kind of what I'm thinking, is that Bitcoin's going to spend some time making people sweat above it, and maybe run into like 42, 40, or sorry, obviously 42, we're already fucking there, but like 44, 45, something like that. And then as long as the weekly closes below this purple 200 exponential right over here, which is currently 4150-ish area, then it is still, bear market mode on. And on top of that, we still actually haven't even ticked off any of the three things that I'm looking for to basically have the bear market mode over in my mind. And that is, first things first, we need a higher high over this guy right over here, 4300-ish area, which is where I actually think Bitcoin's probably gonna make a stab sometime soon, or actually 44, probably around this 55 exponential right over here. It's 4450-ish area. And then on top of that, we need the weekly to both open and close above the 200 exponential. So that's going to at least take 2 weeks. Even if this one were to close above, we're going to need it to both open and close above for a confirmed kill. And then, of course, the last and most important, by far the most important, which will also by definition happen last, we need to get back above the breakdown point right over here, 6,000 area. So until all that happens, I just want to have a healthy skepticism of what's actually going on in lower time frames. Of course, we are in the holiday season. There's not really too many people trading right now. It is a half day in America. Tomorrow will be a full holiday day off as far as stock markets go. That people don't think. I know that there's a world outside of America, but when it comes down to trading, when CMEs and you got your GBTCs and all these more I suppose professional venues operating in America, well, they do hold a lot of sway. So I do put a lot of weight on that. Anyways, yes, so your breakdown point right over here, 6,100, 6,000 share, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's all the same to me, really. Once you get back above here on a higher time frame and can close above there, I immediately say I'm no longer looking for shorts. I'm actually going to be putting in some long-term longs for a very long time, most likely. This is your breakdown point. This is your year-long consolidation in this ascending triangle formation right over here. The second that you get back above that from a more traditional standpoint, well, that is your signal, so to speak. So Again, let's get on over back to our lower time frames, and let's kind of go over what's going on right now. As Bitcoin putting in actually a formation right here. Do you want to call this a symmetrical triangle? Do you want to call this an ascending triangle? I don't care what the fuck you call it. Again, it's not important. What is important is the way that we're actually operating within this area. So, you know, can we make a measure move on this? Well, technically, yes, you can. Let's see if that matches up with any of the proverbial targets for this guy. And let's zoom back on out. And yeah, so beautiful. You know, you can see that it would match up perfectly with your former high, your spike high right over here, a little bit above 4,400. So yeah, you know, if we do get back above there, I'd probably let a few go. I'll definitely let a lot of this long hedge. I mean, it's not even a long hedge anymore. It's like it's a short hedge against my long over here. Again, this is my streamer account, so probably should be a little bit more careful with that. Anyways, we'll definitely let some of that go right around this area. As you can see, we do have some significant resistance in the 4,550 to 4,600 range right over here. That would be kind of like the top end where I'd be letting go most of my position, or sorry, all of my position. I don't want to be long if Bitcoin gets back to this area right over here. I'm sure if we put on the volume profile, we're gonna get. Let's actually get rid of this guy right over here, because this one. Well, we're actually going to do something different with the Fibonacci retracements. I think that there is something interesting to show, although I haven't really looked at it myself. But let's look at the volume profile first and let's see if that agrees with anything around this area as well. Yeah, so it's saying that the last kind of area of business being done was around 4,500-ish area. As soon as you get above there, actually, there's very little stopping you from 5,500. So you very well could. I mean. While I don't think it's likely, I think, you know, it's we could very well rip all the way to 55. Don't think it's going to happen, but hey, if you do get above this area right over here, yeah, that's kind of what this is saying right here. Although volume profile as always a secondary type thing, so do want to keep that in mind. Okay, so we actually have a lot to talk about this morning. Again, I wanted to make this like clean and quick for all of the Christmas celebrators out there, but you know what? We can't fucking do it, man. There's too much to talk about. Okay, so first things first, let's actually look at this guy. You know, I'm gonna go to a fresh chart just so we can have a full-on look on this guy. And I'm gonna bring out a Fibonacci retracement, and before I was taking it as a retracement from the bottom to this swing high over here, you know what I think that we should really be doing is actually taking it from the from our actual breakdown point and bringing it all the way down around here. And let's see if this lines up with anything. Okay, so a few things perhaps stand out. Let's actually bring this down to the actual breakdown point. Yeah, there we go. I think that gets a little bit better. I want the 786 to be lined. Yeah, okay, that looks about right. That looks about maybe a little bit lower. Let's actually get this. Okay, it's be right on. Okay, no, that's too high. Let's get 61. There we go. Okay, beautiful. As you can see, I did not pre-do this, but that is really for good reason. Maybe like 6,000 even if we can get that. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so here you can see, yes, we're at the 382, which is where this first kind of drive got stifled. It came back down, consolidated, and looking like it does want to take another strong move up. Where's the next one that we're looking at? The 0.5, which is, funnily enough, or I mean, it's not that funny, but it's coming in right over here at around 45.50ish area, which, as we saw in our BitMexico chart, that was kind of like the last chance for love. If Bitcoin does get above there, like, yeah, you do have something at the 618 at 49, but you know, really, you ripped on the way through down, you can rip right through on the way back up. That's typically how it works. So again, keep that in mind. Overall, Bitcoin is, you know, it is an interesting area. Now, yes, I strongly believe that Bitcoin has not seen the lows just yet. If you want the full-on explanation for that, definitely check out yesterday's video, but basically kind of covered the main points in this video, essentially saying that, hey, you know, until you actually make a higher high on the daily, you open and close a weekly above the 200 exponential, and then finally close a daily dodo above this 6100 level right over here. You know what? It's still going to be questionable, but I go much more in detail in the long-term analysis playlist, the one that I just uploaded yesterday, about an hour's long of talking about historical reasons why this is probably unlikely to be the bottom. But for now, you can have the rallies in your bear market. Absolutely. Abs-fucking-lutely. Now, what makes it tricky is that in an overall bear market, the sellers can come in at any time. And I know that's not too helpful, but that's basically the truth of it. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. Sellers can come in at any time. Also yesterday, just interestingly enough, once we took out the 200 exponential right over here, that was kind of also a big signal as well. But going back onto the discussion about that, I want to be very careful with this long right here. I kind of take it with reservation really, because in a bear market, as we were just kind of speaking about before I got sidetracked about my own fucking self, basically, it means the sellers can come in at any time. So, even if you do have, nothing really stopping you from this area, or sorry, I think we said 44.50-ish area first, give or take a few bucks, that's the kind of prerogative when bears are in control. They can start the red dildo party at any given moment. I know this is not helpful, but it's just be on guard. If you do see the shower effect coming, the fucking golden shower of red dildos, well, that will likely be your signal. Now you can see already this rally is starting to get a little bit faded. Volume on it kind of slowly tapering off, but we do have this very nice, this very nice this very nice orderly drop off in volume. So keep an eye on that. As long as we're kind of following that sort of guide, this is likely a corrected move and likely just going to be coming up probably tentatively speaking, probably somewhere in this range right over here between about 43.50 and 45.50 is really where I'd be looking towards. So again, myself, tentatively speaking, 44.50, I'll be letting go of a lot of my long. And anywhere above 4,500, I'll let go of the rest of it, and then I'll re-add if we get back above this area, because, well, as we spoke about before, there's really not much stopping you from like 55 after that point. So again, keep in mind the higher time frames. And be on guard. I really don't want to have a position during Christmas, but this, that's just trading right there. Once we take out this level, all right, I will put it on. So again, yesterday I was pretty much in a cash position, basically, hedged up, same amount of long, same amount of short, and then basically I started adding it as I saw major levels being taken out. But yeah, this is trading, right? This is trading. So, you're not going to be perfect, but I just want to show that you don't need to be perfect to make money. You don't need to be perfect at all. Again, this position already over here is making a Bitcoin and a half. Now, of course, yesterday I was making like 6 Bitcoins, but actually I'm up a little bit net right now. Anyways, I do want to mention this before I get on as well. Always be aware of the dreaded ROE or ROI showers on what's it called on fucking crypto Twitter, because they'll post something like this. But look at this. This is only one contract short, but I'm literally running negative 1,500%. Whereas over here, I have an actual position and I'm up 180%. So again, it means nothing is my point. When guys try to show off on the Instagrams, I'm thinking of one guy in particular on Instagram that I always see. I just follow him for the fucking lols. But man, it's I don't want to mention his name. He has enough fucking publicity already. But it's just like, all right, yeah, okay, that's great that you have 1,000% ROE, but if that's on one contract, who gives a fuck, It's very deceiving. So you'll see that a lot around crypto Twitters and whatnot. So if someone's trying to sell you something and showing that kind of shit, well, be like, you might want to know what the actual position size is, as that can be a major determining factor. Okay, all right, so let's get back on over here to the CMEs. CMEs were the big tell as well. CMEs actually, they didn't get quite down to the actual gap. Now, perhaps this is best to be seen on a daily. Yeah, so daily kind of told it right here, and technically speaking, you do want to see gaps filled on the daily, not necessarily the lower time frames. But this is a very good fake out right here. And this also makes me think that Bitcoin's going to be going higher. When you pop back down, get a rejection from the yellow 21 exponential right over here, and then the next day you take that out, that is a clear signal from the market as well. So again, there's a couple areas to be aware of over here. As we spoke about, you have your prior high on this swing right over here. Matching up with the measure move. My voice is leaving me. I actually feel a lot better though. But basically, you got the measure move from this guy right over here. basically doing the same thing as what we did over here. So I really like that for good confluence. Definitely will be letting go of some, and again, that is coming in around about 44.20, 44.30ish area. Doesn't need to be perfect, you know. These are measure moves. You never know where someone's gonna get fucking liquidated and all that good shit. But all of our oscillators are actually signaling some more up. If I take them off, we got regular Stokes over here with my settings on them. You know, just getting a fresh cross up on the 10 hour. I do put a lot of weight on that. RSI over here. People are going to call this divergence. It's not just yet. You need a stopping point first, and I'd imagine that. Oh, look at that! You actually do have the 200 exponential coming in around 46. So fair enough. So yeah, this could actually get some legs over here. DMI giving you a long signal as well, so nice. Let's go down to the 4 hour, see what he's doing. Yeah, DMI giving you a very clear and very strong long signal on the 4 hour right over here. So again, you know, taking out these resistances, that is, you know, it is impressive, and indicators agreeing. So 4 hour Stokes as well pointing up, 4 hour RSI. You know, people are going to call this bearish divergence. It's not necessarily just yet. If we do put in some sort of like a shooting star dildo right here, perhaps, but you can already see that volume is tapering off. So that would be a counterpoint to what I'm saying, although I don't really think it'd take too much to get this thing to like 43.50, 44.50, you know, somewhere in that $100 range. That's why I really want to be very aggressive, very vigilant with getting some off right there. Okay, let's go check out Mr. Buterol, because he was actually canary in the coal mine, and I stupidly forgot to cover him yesterday. So where is he? Where are you, Mr. Buterol? There you are. Okay, 151. Yeah, very strong moves from Mr. Buterol right over here. I do believe that this is, you know, going off of like some sort of hard fork bullshit or whatever that is. You guys are, I mean, probably most people who are tuning into content like this, oh, looks like I already have it drawn in. People who are tuning into content like this already know, like, you know, what typically happens after a fucking hard fork and all that bullshit. But, you know, this is why event mentality, this is, you know, just another example of event mentality, right? You rally up a couple weeks beforehand, and then once the event happens, what's likely to happen? Well, nothing's really changed, so basically the former takes over, and the former takes over. Buterol actually taking out this resistance right over here, so that would be Bitcoin above 46. Interestingly enough, now as far as Buterol goes, this is actually a pattern of accumulation down around here. So overall, this is really impressive. This is really fucking impressive, whether it's, you know, event driven or not. Don't really see much stopping you actually from this area right over here. There's not much in the way. Extremely good volume on that last pop up, kind of pulling along the market with it. So everything's kind of rising together on the back of Mr. Buterol, similarly to what we saw. What was it on the 6,000? You know, on the 6,000 level when Bcash had its fork, right? So again, you know, these sorts of events they pretty much, I don't want to say always, but they typically do, you know, operate very, very similarly. So again, very good volume pop on this right over here. So very likely to have some continuations. Would not, yeah, I don't see anything stopping you from 173.5, you know, right around here. And this is a block, right? It's going to be a nice blockish territory between there and about 182. So again, you know, I do have to repeat this. I don't believe that the lows are in. Yes, I am long-term bullish on Bitcoin, but this still unlikely to be done. So let's go over a little bit of that. Again, if you want the full explanation, definitely go into the playlist titled Long-Term Analysis. But over here, to me, you know, we were talking on this channel coming into last week that as soon as you get down to the weekly 200 simple moving average, while a lot of people were still looking for 2,900, that was when I was closing my shorts, or maybe not, but going neutral on my shorts. Not because I haven't really closed them. As you can see, I still have my short open actually from 63. So this is kind of, you know, that was kind of like the big tell. I'm always going to be a buyer on that area and closing shorts around there, just because, well, it's on too many people's radars. But as you can see, pretty good volume on this last weekly dealer right over here. But again, remember, when that's actually measured in dollars traded, it's significantly different. In fact, let's just show that right now. So let's see, BTC dollar. Yeah, there we go. If you guys want this, that's one over there. It's free to use. This is the volume measured in dollars traded, not necessarily coins traded. As you can see over here, even last week, this past week, the one that we just set in, they're relatively very low volume. When we're actually looking for capitulation, we're looking for something like analogous to what you did over here in your parabolic cycle. And overall, to me, this is likely just a reactionary bounce off this area right over here, which can get extended. Let's put on our drawing tools right over here. Now remember, and I don't want to get too much into the long-term type stuff, but this is appropriate for right now. This dotted trend line right over here, the genesis trend line of Bitstamp, which had never been broken up until, what was it, like 4 or 5, 6 weeks ago, right over here. That has been tested as resistance on the resulting dildo, the one that also both opened and closed below the 2 exponential moving average right over here, which again is our confirmed kill. So to me, if we did pop back above here, that's probably going to be our governing factor. So even if Bitcoin really did get going, I don't think that you're going to get any closes above this area. Again, each and every time that Bitcoin has put in one of these parabolic market cycles and created one of these dotted trend lines that essentially holds up that parabolic market cycle, whenever you break it, that does become the governing factor of your next market cycle. So again, I really don't want to go into this in this video, but you got this guy right over here, 2010, 2011, it gets broken right over here. That becomes a high of your next parabolic market cycle in 2013, 2014. You got your support trend line right here for the 2014 market cycle, parabolic market cycle right over here. It gets broken in 2015. That becomes the high of your 2018 market cycle. And then we have support trend lines right here in 2015 and 2016 in holding up our parabolic market cycle of past year, and that was broken right over here. So does that become our governing factor going forwards? Well, again, I mean, it doesn't mean it has to like forever, but we only have 2 times, and that does not necessarily make a trend. 3 times makes a trend. But you look at this area right over here, and that would be coming in at current moment in time around that 4,900 level. So again, matching up with a few of the other things, obviously BLX index is going to have a higher price in general. Bitstamp chart's one that I want to be going off of, but yeah, right over here, 49-ish. So again, if things really did get going, that would probably be the high of it. But overall, I hope I've been pretty damn clear in stating that this whole phase is likely to take a long time. I think a lot longer than most people are really ready for. Again, remember this diagonal trend line right over here. I don't think we're going to break that on the way down. I think we're going to be governed by it on the way down. So if Bitcoin were to get to these next blue box territories, which, hey, I'm making an assumption here that I am making an assumption here that Bitcoin doesn't basically hit all 3 of the things that I'm looking for to denote that the bear market is over. But hey, if that does happen, getting down here, that could be middle to end of February in the mid 2000s. If that area breaks, I actually think that this is probably going to be the low. I'm not with the super bears who are looking at this area down around here between 11 and 1300. I think it's certainly possible, but with the reaction that we're having right now, this is pretty impressive. So typically that will be demonstrative of we won't have to go as low. There's some pretty good actual activity going on right over here. But if that were to happen, that would be happening in July. July of 2019. Now, what I think Bitcoin is probably doing is something similar to what you did right over here. Look at the volume, look at the reaction, and overall, again, when I'm talking about actual capitulation, I'm looking for something like this: volume similar to what we did over here in the like the up thrusting of that market cycle. Over here, as you can see, that it's significant in relation to this action right over here, but it's certainly not like groundbreaking like it was over here and was over here. Same thing over here is what I'm thinking essentially. It's significant, but it's not really as interesting as what's going on over here. By the way, this major spike right here is an all red dildo. You actually do go lower below that. So again, that's also deceiving as well. Over here, same sort of thing. When you match up, this is pretty much all red right here. Yes, you do bounce for another month and a half, 2 months, which is what we could easily do right here. I mean, this is likely to get drawn out now. But hey, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Also, why is it not capitulation? Well, you got this guy right over here. It's giving you way too fucking long to let you buy the actual low. Again, when you actually get capitulation, it's something like this. It gives you like an hour or so to buy within like 10% of the low, then it blasts back up. We did this yesterday again as well, but hey, I'll save you a little bit of time going through that video. You have a couple examples of great of capitulation actually in 2018, right over here, when Bitcoin just fucking nosedived from like 12,000, 13,000 to 6,000 in February. Well, you'll notice over here, each and every one of these dildos is 4 hours long, and within like a 4-hour period, you bounced up 25%, you know, off the lows. That's really significant. Within like the day, you bounced up like 40%. You know, that's more than the bounces right now, or maybe not actually, because we did take another leg. But let's see. Yeah, so we're operating around 33% ish right now. But again, this has been a week. This has been a week, not literally 24 hours. So complete different scenario right over there. Then we had the other one right over here at the beginning. Sorry, this one was end of December right over here, going from 20,000 to 10,000, really in the span of like a few days. And in this 4-hour dildo right here, you literally jumped up like 23% in that 4-hour period. By the end of the day, you jumped up 35%. That's more. Literally in one day, you did more than what Bitcoin's done over here in 1 week. So yeah, my voice is leaving me again. My voice actually feels a lot better. But hey, you know, keep that in mind. Definitely keep that in mind. Now, of course, I go through many more reasons why in that video. You know, maybe I'll just bring up the MBT signal really quickly. I'm sure that's got a new tick, so let's actually see what he's doing. Yeah, MBT signal over here, getting another tick, it looks like. But again, you know, this oscillator has called every top and every bottom in Bitcoin's market cycle history perfectly. And right now, it is still above the area where it typically bottoms, where my cursor currently is, or lower. Yeah, right around here. So every time it does do a parabolic market cycle top, it at least goes to where my cursor currently is now, or lower, to call, quote unquote, call a bottom. So again, also suggesting that we have some more room to go downside. But again, if you want like the full-on explanation, like the full-on dissection, definitely go check out that video yesterday in the long-term playlist, the long-term analysis playlist. Anyways, okay, so let's go back into Butyrol. We want the Finex one. Yeah, Finex right over here. Finex, interesting right over here, right? Because if we put on our drawing tools, let's see what he's doing on an actual Fibonacci basis. I'm curious what this would be showing. Okay, yeah, so we're almost at the 618 actually. So algos, just by the way that they're programmed and whatnot, they're going to be selling this just because. In fact, we might already have a little bit of a front run on this area. Although extremely heavy volume like this, we're probably going to spend some time grinding this area. Whenever you have major volume like this, you're not just going to like fucking sell off immediately. That's very unlikely. You're going to spend some time at the very least grinding this area, if not trying to work higher. So I'd be respectful of that. But do keep in mind that around 161, you do have that nice area coming in around 786. The next one right around here, 182, which does line up with that prior block. So looking at that area, as I've yawned, which is probably really annoying. Looking at that area is going to be an area of extreme interest as well if you're a seller. So keep that in mind. You know, same thing as Mr. Butyrol as Mr. Bitcoin. In fact, probably more important for Bitcoin to keep an eye on Bitcoin, but you know, if we are going to focus on Mr. Butyrol right here, as long as you're below this area right here, like 190-ish area, be very, very careful. I don't, you know, it's not all said and done. Yes, you kind of have an event going on right over here. Let's go check out Ripple Me Timbers, and we got 42.5. Oh, perfectly hitting this next resistance right over here. Also the 618 as well. So both Ripples and Jesus Christ, man, where's my voice gone? Both Ripples and Ethereum getting into this range right over here. Ripple having an incredibly good move on increasing volume as well. Sorry about this, guys. Jesus Christ, man, my voice actually feels okay, but sounds fucking god awful, man. Like nails in the chalkboard out of the mouth of some sort of raspy lesbian who has, I don't know. I don't know what fucking disease she has. Like, she smoked too much, so she has a fucking hole in her neck. Anyways, so yeah, as long as you're below this area right here, probably gonna be a sell. Big volume coming in right here as well, though. So again, you probably do grind this area. If you do get above it, don't really see much stopping from this ledge right over here. Kind of lining up with the 786, but that's right around 45.5 cents. So keep that one in mind. But same thing on this guy as on Bitcoin. It's like, you know, have a healthy eye on Bitcoin is the idea. You're hitting the 200 simple moving average right over here. That's likely gonna be a sell on the first pass. I mean, This one is a harasser. Doesn't mean it can't get above it, but on the first pass, probably gonna be a sell. And then you got, and we're also dealing with the 618, and then you got the 200 exponential right over here at around 45. Yeah, that 45-cent level. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, okay. So we talked about that. We talked about CMEs. What about GBC closing the week down? This is gonna be a wild card right here, because this one has actually a really shitty chart. Rejection right here, fall through on the rejection. And then we're going to open up somewhere right around here, right around $5.30. I mean, that's not really a gap right there now, is it? But, overall, got to be careful with this, because our CMEs and our GBCs are actually wanting some down, weirdly enough. This is going to be a very odd chart, man. It's going to be a really fucking odd chart. Yeah, going to the 12-hour, it's not really any different. 4-hour closing and its lows on Friday as well. Man, yeah, this is going to be a weird chart, man. Yeah, there's not really an excuse to make about it. If I just looked at this, I'd be saying, yeah, you got lower highs, you're ending on your lows, you have clear rejections, you have clear reversal dildos on your daily, on heavy volume, you're probably going down. But as you can see, this thing just like chugs its way along. Maybe it's losing its importance. But let's give it a chance to open. It has not been trading all week, so it hasn't really had a chance to respond. I'm gonna be very curious to see what this thing does. Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, okay. So let's get on over here to the longs and shorts. Longs are going up, good amount, 26,000 all the way to 28,000. So we're getting about 2,000 longs after basically everyone distributed their shit right over here. Then we had a little bit of a reaccumulation is what it really ended up being. So shorts over here getting dropped off, but not really having like that parabolic drop off effect just yet. We're probably going to see those two metrics meet, and then after some time when shorts feel comfortable once again, we'll have the war continue. But for now, bulls are in control of the lower time frames, but nothing's changed from a higher time frame perspective. Although when we have something like Butyrol, when we have something like XRP, and I'm sure like the other top 10 are kind of like taking next legs on those areas, Bitcoin's probably going to follow. But it is worth mentioning that Bitcoin's rally over here is already kind of losing a little bit of steam, is what it looks like to me. So Bitcoin does run the market, as long as it does. Again, I know people think that there's going to be decoupling. There probably will be at some point in time, but we need to see it first. And are we seeing it right now? I think I need to see like a lot more being put in before I'm comfortable saying that. But hey, that's what I'd be saying about that. Traditional markets, if we are going to keep up the inverse correlation, then traditional markets are going to find sorry about that. Traditional markets are going to find their lows somewhere right around here after continuing today. Again, I very, very rarely, basically when I was on the floor of New York Stock Exchange Arcade, no one went to fucking work this week. So on a holiday week, because you're going to have a half day today, tomorrow off, and then the rest of the week it's like no one's going to be trading anyways, so everyone just takes it off. But it's going to be extremely fucking interesting if we have the crash continue, which it ended on its lows on Friday, which typically does lead to continuation on Monday, and then you have like a turnaround Tuesday, but Tuesday's not going to even be happening because there's no trading on Tuesday, so that's going out the window. So people are going to be sweating over Christmas. And yeah, this is the first time that we've really had like a news-driven market. It's really strange. You don't really get this, but when we have all the turmoil in the political sphere that we're kind of having right now going on in America. Again, this is not like a political statement at all whatsoever. My whole philosophy with politics is that I want to be in a place financially and like emotionally and maturity where I don't have to rely ever on government or anything like that. Whoever the fuck is king of the world, don't really want to be a pawn to that. But as far as markets go, this is one of the first times that I've really seen where who's ever in charge and the kind of events going on do actually run the market. So we are really seeing some interesting stuff going on. Sorry, not interesting, but unique stuff going on over here, which is interesting. But big support right around here, 235, 240-ish area. That is the measure move off my head and shoulders top formation. It also is lining up beautifully with the 200 exponential and 200 simple moving average in this nice block. Good historical relevancy of this area as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying get short or anything like that, but I would certainly be considering closing my shorts right around here. Anywhere in this block right here is an excellent place to be closing shorts, in my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but if that's what I was doing, that's what I'd be doing in that exact sort of same situation. So again, if we do bounce up today, which typically on the day before Christmas, you probably do, but you never know with this market right now. Then 240, I'd look for 246, 247 range to be heavy resistance. So keep an eye on that guy as well. Let's go check out Dixie for a second. I haven't looked at this one in a while, but Dixie is finding a local top as well. So coming down with the regular markets, stonewalled completely at this resistance right over here on the weekly. In fact, this is wrong where I have it. It should be right here. There we go. Can't give up 96 cents, or sorry, $96. Give up $96, you got a problem. You're gonna have a problem if you do that. As probably do come back down at least to like 95, and then maybe if that area fails, like 93.5. So what was once looking pretty damn good, not looking so damn good anymore. Wow, how things change so quickly. This is why you play the fucking game, huh? This is why you play the fucking game. Okay, so going back on to Bitcoin right over here in the lower time frames, would I be adding if Bitcoin confirms above this area right here? Fuck no, my position's already way too big. It's way too big. I think I got a little bit excited last night as I saw this go down. Actually woke up to even put a position in. So again, you know, that's the art of trading. Just fucking flow with the markets. Now, I will actually reduce this position significantly on the other side if we actually do break 4140-ish area right over here. If Bitcoin actually smashes back down through this area, I want to really reduce, maybe going back all the way to perhaps neutral. But I really want to see this thing take a leg up relatively soon if it is going to join the rest of the market, which is funny because you usually see Bitcoin leave the market, but tentatively speaking, looking somewhere right around here, 4430-ish area, something like that. And I'll be getting fully out of my position somewhere right around 4550, 4600 if it gets there. So until that happens, just gonna be playing it by ear. Again, this is I think that this was just a great example of, like, I think I was pretty vocal with saying that I was looking for Bitcoin to come down to like 3650, 3600-ish area. It did not, but even with my opinion being 100% wrong, 100% wrong, can still make money because technical analysis comes first. My opinion comes like, second or third or sixth or 10th. It's like, by the way, guys, don't fucking eat plums because you will destroy your girlfriend's parents' toilet. Anyways, I think maybe I've covered everything that I want to say. Let's actually talk about the opposite scenario for a second, just in case if it does happen, because it's certainly possible. But let's say Bitcoin does get stonewalled right around here, and then fails this support at 4140. Well, at that point in time, yes, technically you do still have this area down around here, 4080. But the whole picture starts to change if this area gets violated. Let's just shove the blue box area right over here. Don't want to see this blue box violated. If this blue box does get violated, then probably do come down to like at least 3800, and probably do hit that 3600 area after that. That would look like a clear rejection of getting to a higher high, and overall, that would be another great example of, all right, so Bitcoin just had a nice little fake out. Don't get too excited before it happens, and that's what I'd be looking at right over there. I believe my average price on this long, on my streamer account long, it's it's like 40.75, so I'd be cool with that. Just get out of it as soon as this area is broken right here. But hey, keep in mind that that certainly can happen. So if that did happen, that's how I'd be reacting to that scenario. But for the time being, I am looking for this resistance to probably get broken. All of our lower time frame oscillators are suggesting that, except for our hourly, which hourly Stokes are kind of snaking around over here. Let's just kind of go through it. 3 hour over here, 3 hour just crossed up, fresh cross up, not nice like that. 4 hour still going up, 8 hour fresh cross up, 10 hour fresh cross up, 12 hour snaking, but looking like wants to cross up. Daily never got crossed down. So I like that. Overall, DMI over here. DMI in the daily actually is going to be this is not a long signal, but it's telling you that this thing kind of does want to hint it's got a couple of the pieces there, but not the whole pie. So it is. We haven't. By the way, we haven't had a DMI long signal like since like forever. It's been a while. It's been a long time. So again, I think it's more like this thing continues before it does not. So I'll be keeping this long for the time being. Again, tentatively looking for 44.20ish area, and then 45.50ish area after that. That's kind of what I'm thinking right here. I think that's going to do it for this morning's stream. Hope everyone's doing well. I won't be doing a live stream later today. Again, I'm going to be taking a little bit of liberties while it's the holiday season. I'll be back in my own battle station on Wednesday, so I'll probably be back at full force around that time. But for now, for today and tomorrow, today being Monday, tomorrow being Tuesday, I'll probably be doing it like this, just video in the morning. As you can see, I don't even have my camera going, and using a different mic. So hopefully this one sounds all right. Hope everyone's having the best holidays possible, whatever holiday that you might be celebrating, whether it's fucking Kwanzaa or whatever the fuck. So yeah. Oh, also I have an announcement to make. For all the people who think that I need to be fucking bearish and that I just hate Bitcoin, guess what? Guess fucking what, man? I want Bitcoin to go to 20,000 more than anyone else in the world. You know why? You know fucking why? Well, because at 20,000, I promise that I will buy Elsa some brand new titties, like the biggest size possible as well. So chew on that, you motherfucker. Anyways, this is Krown signing off. Again, wishing you the best of the best holidays, whatever holiday you might be celebrating, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.